Obviously, Canada will always stand up for our workers and our companies. We need to make sure that we're protecting Canadian interests in any situation. We continue to engage with the government of Saudi Arabia. The Minister of Foreign Affairs had a long conversation with their foreign minister yesterday, and diplomatic talks continue. But as the Minister has said, and as we will repeat, Canada will always speak strongly and clearly in private and in public on questions of human rights.
Could you repeat in French, please? Of course. We are always there as a government to protect Canadian workers and Canadian interests. Our discussions with Saudi Arabia continue. Minister Chrystia Freeland had a good long conversation with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia yesterday. But as she said in public and in private, as I can repeat today, Canada will always speak firmly and clearly in favor of respect for human rights, both in private and public. Would you please answer in French and English?
That an apology would end this dispute. Is offering an apology to Saudi Arabia something you would consider?
Canadians have always expected our government to speak strongly, firmly, clearly, and politely about the need to respect human rights at home and around the world. We will continue to do that. We will continue to stand up for Canadian values and indeed for universal values and human rights at any occasion. That's something that Canadians expect. It's something that I will always do.
Canadians expect their government to speak clearly, firmly, but politely with regard to respecting human rights throughout the world, and is something that we will continue to do.
So what options are on the table to resolve this?
We are speaking directly with the government of Saudi Arabia to settle this diplomatic difference. We don't want a bad relationship with Saudi Arabia. This is a country that still has importance in the world and is making progress in human rights. So we will continue to underscore the challenges when they exist there and elsewhere in the world.
We continue to engage diplomatically and politically with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have respect for their importance in the world and recognize that they have made progress on a number of important issues, but we will at the same time continue to speak clearly and firmly on issues of human rights at home and abroad, wherever we see the need.
Oui, lié à l'évêque de la presse canadienne. D'abord, une question sur
First, a question on the investment here. That we were talking about $1 billion of investment. How did this start? First, the federal government is very happy to support innovation and good jobs that come through investment into the future, like we're doing, to recognize the leaders, world leaders, this one, how we can still grow and continue the influence they have with new students and new jobs, and especially with innovation that's being done across Canada. We're very proud of this investment. As for the details of the investment in R&D, I will let Mr. Parent answer. Thank you, Mr. Trudeau. Look, I'm very happy to announce that the importance of these sums of money as investment. Look, we're starting now. That's what we're going to do. Thank you. And back to Saudi Arabia, if you could also answer in English, does this not demonstrate the problem of diplomacy around the world?
Nous continuons d'utiliser tous les moyens
still trying to use all the necessary means to pass our messages and be engaged with other countries. Certainly, direct conversations we've had and continue to have with different countries, with all the countries in the world. Our presence on Twitter and Facebook and press conferences, I think people realize that we are using a lot of different tools to pass the message in a modern world, and we'll continue to do that.
People understand that in today's world, there are a broad range of communications tools available to individuals, to countries, to share messages, to make statements, and we will continue to use the full range of methods of communication as appropriate.
Mr. Trudeau, is there not an incongruity between Canada criticizing Saudi Arabia for its human rights? I think that Canadians are reassured when they see that we have an immigration system that's anchored in rules, principles, and laws, and that we follow these laws and these principles. The questions like this in different cases are expected within our system and planned for within our immigration system, and we make sure that our immigration system will be followed as it should be on each occasion. In English?
We always expect and Canadians expect that our immigration system, which is based on rules, on values, on principles that are very clearly laid out, be followed in its integrity, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Within our immigration system, as we follow the rules in place, there are measures that take into account risks and consequences on things like deportations, and we will always ensure that we are following and applying the rigor necessary in our immigration system. It's actually because of the strength of the rules and our immigration system that Canadians have confidence in immigration at a time when people around the world are losing confidence in immigration in their countries. Canadians continue to understand that Canada has a strong system of immigration that is protected.
Were you surprised by the response from Riyadh? And could you give us a few details about the discussions between Freeland and the Saudi minister? First, there's no secret that Canada speaks loud and strong for its values throughout the world. Wherever I go in the world, and whoever I speak to in terms of as a leader and with leaders of other countries, I'm always there to underscore our concerns about human rights while seeking constructive relationships, which is the exact same approach we've always taken with Saudi Arabia, and this is what we'll continue to do.
We've always had a positive and constructive relationship with countries around the world, while at the same time always making sure we're bringing up human rights concerns, because Canadians expect that, and indeed people around the world expect that leadership from Canada. We will continue, we will do so in a constructive and polite way, but we will also remain firm on standing up for human rights everywhere around the world.
Final question? Are you surprised that the U.S., our neighbor, has not supported or denounced human rights? Does this something surprise you on the American side on this dossier? I think we recognize that each country has the right to make its own decisions and make its own diplomatic choices with regard to international diplomacy. Canada was always very clear in its positioning, and I don't want to dictate other countries how they should position themselves, but certainly we like it when people recognize just how important human rights are across the world.
I don't think it's a big surprise for anyone that Canada stands up firmly and respectfully in defense of human rights at any given moment. Of course, we recognize that there are many countries that stand up with similar stances to Canada, but I am never going to impose on another country what their reactions should be or what their response should be. I respect the rights of individual countries to make their decisions and speak for themselves.
A question for Mr. Couillard.
Votre ministre,
Your minister opened the door today to a law for the Board of Administration cultural groups. I support anything that's being done to make sure that our corporations are a reflection of our society. In law in Quebec, things should be, I would like to say specifically, visible minorities is not a very happy term, but it's a term that's used regularly. And I support all we can do, once again, to make sure that the government can be seen as a leader in this operation that's necessary for private enterprise, but also for the state to make sure that our society values are reflected. During the campaign, when it starts, I'll discuss it then.